3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
Hello and welcome to the next Thunderbird video where we're going to be looking at more of the mole and more of Pod 4. But before I get started on that, you join me here at the back end of Thunderbird 2, and there's a reason for this. I've just finished tightening up this gearbox here. Now the reason that I had to really tighten this down is because this gearbox is the source of all the clicking. Inside this gearbox are some cogs and they were running loose. So of course loose cogs means that loud clicking that you saw in the video 2 weeks ago when I showed off the rising and the falling of Thunderbird 2. Some people said that it was the gears just off camera just there, that I aligned it wrong, but no, actually it was a part that was just complete. It should have been complete straight from the box, and it had a loose screw. So that was the source of all my clicking. If your Thunderbird 2 is clicking like mine was, then you should try checking out this gearbox. So I'm just going to finish tightening up this, and then if I turn it on, you will hear, if you turn it on, you will hear it's only very slight clicking now, nowhere near as loud as it once was. And that little clicking is just the cogs going and the pod holders connecting. Much smoother, much nicer. So glad that people pointed it out, otherwise I wouldn't have realised. And on the way back down, you see these parts click together, and that's normal, but the cogs no longer in there, they no longer click loudly at all, which is great. So now I have a Thunderbird 2 that goes up and down smoothly, and the loud clicking is gone. So with that all done, let's get started on the mole, and we start by looking at these parts here. And you will also need this piece. You may remember last week I was panicking about whether I had messed it up by not putting this piece in. You actually have to take it out to work on this next part of the mole. So yeah, don't know why I worried so much about that. Yeah, the next parts of the mole are the kind of support of the mole on the main track part, and look at the detailing on these parts. Oh my word, they're words. What on earth does that say? Something banned, something not in use. That's what I can read here while I'm filming. Not sure if I can read it while I'm editing. If I can, I'll put what it says down there in bigger writing for you all to see. But yeah, the detailing is exquisite. Again, that paintwork on the silver outline part there, look at that. Just there. But yeah, so you get two similar parts like this. One is marked left and one is marked right. It is going to be the right one that we are looking at, because we need to attach this part to it. Now it is quite clever the way that this is designed actually. You see, this side only has one of these squares, this side has two. If you look at the right one, this one has a square cut out, just the one. If you look at the left, it has two. So you know which way round this should fit in to, like that. Very cool. So what you need to do is you just need to get your glue and just glue into this square part here, just along this ridge as well, and just secure, see, nearly got the wrong way around, secure that part in there like that. Give that a few minutes to dry, and when that is dry you need to get this hydraulic piston, and you see there are two holes here. You ignore them and you go for this little hole here, and you get the thinner side of the hydraulic piston and just place it on there like that. Then what you need to do is put some glue, that keeps happening, put some glue onto the left hand side parts. So some glue just in that square hole there, and that square hole there, and a little bit on this ridge. and then swing it around and push it all together so that the piston goes into the little hole on the left hand side and it all fits in together like that. There we go. Make sure you push these parts in as much as you can. So it looks like that from the top, that from the front, that from the side. Looking very nice. Then while that's drying a little bit, put that to one side and we bring in these two parts here. And what we need to do is flip this part around. Again, the detailing is fantastic. Look at that track. That's amazing. But we don't want to see that. We want to flip it around so it's like this. And we're dealing with this square rectangle cut out here. We need to get this part here, which has another little hinge on it. And of course a little peg there. And we'll just put some glue onto there and onto the peg. And just push it down like that. Oops. Make sure this is securely in. There we go. To hear that click. Very nice indeed. Give that a couple of minutes to dry as well. See, I'm saying minutes, but I'm actually giving it seconds. Make sure you give it minutes so that it doesn't fall apart. Okay, then what you need to do is you need to push this hydraulic part around here like that. Turn it around. And then, is that right? Connect it there like that. That doesn't seem right to me. How does it connect? Oh, I see. It connects. Okay, let's take this off. It connects with these four tabs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, into these four holes here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, it is very cleverly designed so you don't muck it up, because these holes are bigger than these two smaller holes here. And you'll see the side facing the camera are bigger, and the side facing the camera now are smaller. So let's just put some glue on the edges here. And just push this in to secure it. Doesn't seem to be working. Oh no, I knew that would happen. Damn it. Okay, so as you know, we have just finished putting our first touches to the fantastic mole pod vehicle. And if this pod vehicle isn't enough for you, then the Jerry Anson official store has this fantastic mole kit that is ready and waiting to buy right now. It is of course not the same scale as the mole we are currently building. It is much larger, filled with fantastic details, and you can customize it with your own paint jobs or anything like that. So if you want a bit more mole in your life, then go over to the Jerry Anson official store and pick up that kit. And while you're there, check out the fantastic range of Big Chief Studio figures that are available now. Scott and Virgil are available today. You can buy it today and you'll get it within the next few days. Or Alan, Gordon and John are available for pre-order as well. So go over to the Jerry Anson official store today, have a little browse, check out these fantastic things. And anything you do buy with the links down below helps out the channel. So it's a win-win. You help out the channel and you get something nice for yourself. So take some time, go over to the Jerry Anson official store today. Hello and welcome back, and this is why you give it minutes to dry, not seconds. I have secured all the parts down now. A few minutes have passed and the gantry is looking fantastic. What I am a little surprised about is all this detailing here on this track that I got excited about just before the break, and it's hidden really by all this other stuff, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. Okay, so now that the gantry is fixed and all glued together, we need to attach it onto the track part of the mole in two ways. First of all, we get the hydraulic arm and we put it in like that, exactly like we did last time. And then this part here attaches into that part there, like that. So when you lift it up, it catches there and the hydraulic arm is just loose, like that, you see? Very clever. So it goes whoop, whoop. Very cool. Look at that. Brilliant. That is very cool. That is the track part of the mole and the gantry all completed. But, of course, there is still one more quite big yellow part missing from this build. So, here is the main body of the mole, and just look at it. Just look at the detailing. Look at that. Head hats required. Not hard hats, just head hats. Could be anything. Could be the International Rescue hats. But look at it. The yellow, the red, the warning signs, the silver popping. Absolutely exquisite. Oh, look at that with the jet engine blasts. Brilliant. Oh, I do have a bit of paint spillage on this side of the mole. The words there. But that's okay. Very, very exciting. So, not only do you get that part, you also get this part and this part in these issues. So what you need to do, it may seem fairly obvious, you need to attach these track parts into there like that and into there like that. Now in the show they move along when the drill is whirring, but it doesn't happen for the model. I'm sure and I hope that some very clever modelers out there are going to make a fully automated mole with the drill bit that spins automatically. And if you have done or know someone that has, please comment down below and share that link, because I would love to see that in action. Okay, stop gushing. Let's build. Okay, so, oh my word, it's happened again. Let's get the glue and glue the pegs. Now, one peg is smaller than the other. I'm going to show you. So this peg is smaller than this peg, as you can see there. And of course, corresponding holes. This hole is bigger than that hole. So that's just a little guide to show you which way around these pieces go in. There we go. That's one piece in there like that. Flip it around and do the same. Big, small, and then big and small. That way. There we go. That is the track part all done. Oh, wow, that does add a lot of detail, that gunmetal grey. Very different to that silver. Lovely. Very, very lovely. And then we get this part here, which is the track to attach it to the gantry. And at the bottom, you see it's got 2 holes and 2 pegs. What do you think happens? That's right, you get some glue. And just glue the pegs. Glue the pegs. And glue kind of the thin parts here. And then just, oops, drop it on the ground, pick it up, and then just push it all in like that. Very, very cool. And you may think that I do have other parts to attach to the mole this time, but I don't. They don't come in these 2 issues, the drill bit. So you're going to have to join me next week to finish off the mole. But let's just slide the mole as is onto the gantry. It's exquisite. Look at that. That is just waiting for the drill bit, but you can really see that come together. I put it the wrong way around. That was silly. Let's try that again. There we go. So actually, the way this is designed, it doesn't slide off. Have I done this wrong? Have I done this wrong? No. Yeah, slides on that way. But it should slide off that way. I suppose it can't slide off both ways, can it? Let me just check the instructions. Yeah, no, that is right. This sliding hole is at the back. So if you do want it... Oh, that's a bit of a shame. If you do want this lifting up and then drilling down and then pulling it down, you actually can't because it is held in place. But similarly, you can flip it around and this mold bit won't fall off because they've got that part protecting it. So yeah, I guess that makes sense because you don't want it. It's not going to be played with, is it? If you're going to display it, you're going to display it like that. So yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I'm waffling. So I'm just going to move all this to one side and then fade up the new parts we have for pod 4. As you can see, we have the floor of the pod and some of the frameworks. Hopefully no earthquake will come along and bend these frameworks out of place. So the first thing you need to do is attach these parts like so. So it got the shape of the pod there. But then you flip it around and you actually screw these parts in place securely. So I'm just going to screw them in now. And there we go. They're all in there like that. We then need to look at this area here, which is the front of the pod. And we bring back the door here. And we just place it there like that. Is that right? No, we don't. We place it this way round like that. So that the fort is facing us. And then we get, let me zoom in. We get to the other end of these springs and we attach it over this little nook here like that. We do the same on the other side. I didn't put this one on right, so let's readjust that. There we go. Put the spring on that little hooky thing like that. Make sure that's in place. And then to secure it in place again, we get this big green part here, which we just push over the top there like that. And attach it by screwing it into these two holes. There we go. So that is that door all secure there in place. And the reason we had the brown parts facing up at the end of last video is so that it matches the floor like that. Then we just flip this around and we bring in the other door on the other side and we do exactly the same thing. There we go. So both doors are now installed on the pod. Very nice indeed. And they're flipping around and you see all the brown parts there. And the doors go up like that. The next thing we need to do is flip this pod back to this underside. And we get the frames. So they are numbered. Where are they numbered? So that's number 1. And then this one is number, oh, they're in order. Look at that. Number 2. And number 3 is the full one. So we get number 1. And we just put it into this gap there like that. This way, sorry. So it fits into the gap there. And there you see it leaves the screw hole there for us to secure it down. So I'm just going to do that now. In fact, before I speed up individually, this is how you attach all of them. So 1 will go there, 2 will go there, 3 will go there. You also see that on the brown parts, they are numbered as well. There's 2, there's 3. So let me just attach them all now. There we go. So the first 3 spines are all installed there like that. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the spines will be attached in the next video. Because that is the end of this video. There's nothing left to do on Pod 4 this time. I hope you have enjoyed this video and I hope you'll join me for the next one in a week's time. So until then guys, take care. FAB. Bye bye. I just want to thank my patrons John Medney, Jay Faushenbauer, Tom Butcher, Jerry Wilson, Omar Khan, Gary Lewis, Simon Edwards, John Dunseith, Glenn Philo, Andrew Woods, Fabio Gugel, Simon Dunn, Brick Bardo, Thomas Parker, David Cunningham, Mark Frampton, Louis Pays, Terry Schwanditz, Donovan Asmawid Jaja, James Brown Jr., Jan Hendrik Volbeer, the Mittotonic University Podcast, Dave Westbury, Michael Chambers, Marcus Simon, Vince Steele, Savigny Barrett, Michael Anson, and Flash. Without you guys, this video would not have been possible, so thank you very much.